Hello, good evening, my dears. Welcome back to our English class. How's everything, my dears? Hope all of you are doing well. Okay? Very good. Children, in the last class we completed our first unit. Did you enjoy that unit? Okay, that's nice. So today we are going to learn our second unit, Letter to God. Are you ready for today's class? Okay, then now you turn your text page number 37. Children, here is a small poem written by Christina Rossetti is given as the entry activity. Okay, my dears, listen to me. I'll recite the poem. White sheep on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where do you go? Children, have you ever spoken to birds, flowers, and clouds? I think you may have spoken with your pet animals, aren't you? Okay, very good. Look at this picture. Here you can see a little girl who speaks to the clouds moving in the sky. She thinks that the clouds are her friends. She believes that the clouds can hear what she says and they will respond to her questions. Okay, dears, do you know who is the poet talking to? Yes, you are right. The poet is talking to the clouds. Okay, then who does the poet address as white sheep? Yes, very good. It's also clouds. Here the girl or the poet sees the clouds on a blue hill. The poet compares the clouds as the sheep and the sky as the blue hill. Children, listen to me. When the wind stops, what happens to the clouds? Yes, very good. They can't move. They will stand still when the wind stops. Okay, dears, listen to the another question. When the wind blows, what happens to the clouds? Yes, you are right. The clouds walk away slowly when the wind blows. Okay, at last, here the child asks the clouds, where do you go? Okay, my dears, hope you enjoyed the poem very well. Okay, now let's go to the story part of this lesson. This story is divided into 4 parts. Now we are going to learn about the first part of the story, The Pleasure of Rain. I'll read it. You listen to me. The story Letter to God, written by Gregorio Lopez Fontes. The main character of the story is a poor farmer, Lancho. The story tells us about an innocent farmer who has absolute faith in God. He believes that God will listen to his prayers. Thinking that God will respond to him, he writes a letter to God. He thinks that God is like a friend to him. Okay? Listen here. I will read the passage. You also read with me. The house, the only one in the whole valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. Okay, dears? The only one house was there. On that valley, there was only one house. That was Lancho's house. It was on the crest of a low hill. What do you mean by crest? Yes, very good. Crest means the top part of a hill. Here, Lancho's house was on the top of a small hill. When we look from this hill, we can see a beautiful good river and a field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers. It gives us the hope of good harvest. Ripe means fully grown and ready to eat. Okay, dears, now let's move to the next part of the story. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lancho had done nothing else but look at the sky towards the northeast. Now we are really going to get some rain, woman, he said. The woman, who was preparing supper, replied, Yes, God willing. Okay, dears, listen here. Lencho thinks that the earth needed the only thing that was a good downpour, or at least a shower. What do you mean by downpour? Yes, you are correct. Downpour means a heavy rain. Lencho wants a heavy rain to get good harvest. For that, on that day throughout the morning, Lencho had done nothing. Instead, he looked at the sky towards the northeast by expecting rain. By seeing the clouds, he said to his wife, Woman, now we are really going to get good rain. At that time, the woman was preparing supper, and she said to him, I am also expect like that. If the God help us, we will get good harvest. Students, please listen to the next part. During the meal, big drops of rain began to fall. Huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. Lancho went out to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. These are not raindrops falling from the sky. They are like new coins. The big drops are tens and the little ones are fives. Okay, students, listen here. While they are having their meal, it started to rain outside with big drops of water. Then he saw the huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Approach means to come near. For example, when the train approaching the station, the passengers got up from their seats. Huge means very large. Have you seen the big clouds on the sky before going to rain? Yes, correct. Here, Lencho saw the clouds gathering together like a very large mountain. At that time, the air was very fresh. He felt very happy and he went out to have the feeling of pleasure in the rain. I think you are also like to play with rain, aren't you? Yes, but sometimes your parents aren't allowed to play with rain, right? Okay, listen here. Now Lencho is in the rain. He felt that they are not raindrops. They are like new coins. He thinks that the big drops are the coins of tens and the little drops are fives. That means he expects if he gets good harvest, he can live happily throughout that year. So he thought that the big drops are the coins of tens and little ones are coins of five. Okay, students, now it's the time for winding up today's class. Don't forget to read the passage 3 times. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.